Live from the bunker, except not the bunker. It's actually a classic rock coffee. It's Shoe the Dough with Aaron and Danae. They did it.
We paid everyone to do
Well, welcome to another episode of Shoe the Dough. A very different Shoe the Dough with a live audience. And we'll be kind of giving a little gander at some of the subjects that we do, the different kind of segments that we do. And also
it's a variety show.
Yeah, you need to be ready for a couple things. This is going to be different because we're in front of a live audience, so that'll actually impact what you're hearing in the podcast. There'll also be some audience interaction, some Q&A, like questions and answers. So be thinking if you have any questions for us. We'll do that towards the end. It can be anything you want to know about us, from us, whatever you want to know.
Whatever you want to know.
There'll be some interactive games.
Are you wearing deodorant today? No, forgot that part. I'm sorry, it's just...
Is the entire show going to be about your smell?
Listen, it's just... prominent in the, it's like right.
Don't you think it's more prominent in your head than it is in anybody else's?
Not anymore. I'm talking about it a lot.
Like, I would not have even noticed if you hadn't brought it up. Like, now I would notice. Now I would definitely notice. Thank you. That was very, very kind.
Yeah. You were saying?
It's flowers. Just flowers and rainbows that just happened. So there's going to be a little bit different in the podcast. We're going to have a little bit of fun doing it, but we do want to kind of bring you the basic stuff that we usually do. And so we're going to start off today's show with what we call a Sift Pop segment. Danae, tell us about it, what Sift Pop is.
Sift Pop, 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 culture. Woo, woo, woo. I've never done that before, but that worked really, really well.
See, I can buzz you anytime I want to.
Did you load the buzzers in?
I did.
You do this to me all the time. Okay, Sift Pop is our pop culture segment, so we talk about movies. And today we're going to be reviewing a movie with our friend Andrew Ormsby. If you want to come on up here. Andrew,
please welcome Andrew.
From Flick Freaks.
From the Flick Freaks YouTube.
Woo! So usually our Sift Pop podcast episodes are an hour long, just like our regular talk show, but we're going to obviously condense that for you tonight.
Oh my goodness, you brought a hat.
Ahoy.
You're even wearing your Ahoy shirt.
You know, I could...
Get right up on this bad boy. Like, you gotta, love it.
I would...
Or you can hold it.
No, I'm all right.
Okay.
I would say that I'm wearing the shirt to promote the store, but it's more the fact that I'm very egotistical, so... having a shirt with me on it, yeah.
I don't know if you've looked behind us, but there are giant faces...
Touche.
...looming over us. So, when did you get that hat?
Aaron, for real. This is like real. Really, guy?
Amazon, $5.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. So how you been?
Living the dream.
Yeah, what's going on?
Went and saw Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Part 2.
I feel like I'm in
Yeah.
Part 3.
And I guess that's why you invited me on stage.
We just wanted to drill you.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right,
we
so
are going to be reviewing Hunger Games for you just real quick. No spoilers. We don't do spoilers on the show. We also have a spoiler segment, though, so if you did want to get a spoiler episode, you can do that, too.
All right, let's start off.
Who's read the books?
Yeah, who's
Anyone?
read the Hunger Game books?
You've read the books? And you guys have too? Anyone over here?
I swear I'm the oldest. Okay, no, you. I thought I was the oldest one here that read those books.
I read the books too, so that was interesting.
Who's seen the movies but hasn't read the books? Okay, a much more silent crowd.
They're like, I think they're embarrassed.
I'm getting all these
Don't be
notifications.
That's banned. If you guys are getting notifications, that's banned. That means we've got activity happening.
Well, maybe I'll just leave it up then. Maybe
Aaron, at the
people are
beginning of the show, it says you can have your phone out, but keep it on silent.
That is true.
Seriously.
That is true. We are a phones-up show.
It's on the brochure.
That's right. It is there.
We have a brochure?
Well, a program.
The program, sorry.
That Andrew would know about. So let's talk a little bit about Hunger Games. Andrew, we'll start with you. Generally, what did you think? Liked it, loved it, it was okay, didn't like it, hated it?
If I was the demographic for this movie, I would love it, but I am not, so I didn't.
You did not. So did you hate it or you just didn't like it?
I'm going to stick with okay, disliked it, somewhere in between there.
All right, today.
How close are you to sliding into hatred? Just
No,
out of
I'm not close to hating this
Okay,
movie.
okay.
No.
I liked it, and the more I think about it, I still just sort of like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the liked it category too. I think it's a well-made film. It's obviously they know what they're doing.
It
It
has
has
a huge
some,
budget.
It has a lot of flaws.
Explosions.
But I think it's a decent movie. Let's talk quickly about the positive things. What's one thing you really liked about the movie? Danae, you start this time.
You get to see Katniss again. She's cute. I love her.
Really? All they had to do was show up and put Katniss on the screen,
Wearing
and you're
adorable
good.
outfits and running around and shooting people.
Andrew, you remember when you said not in the demographic for this this movie?
I don't know.
Somebody who might
Jennifer
be.
Lawrence.
It is cool to go back into this world again and to see that they're actually doing more service to the book. So those of you who have read the books, this particular movie actually hits those notes way better than we've seen in previous. Like, I think the first one did a pretty good job. Second one was doing pretty good. Third one was awful. Fourth one, I think they hit the book pretty well. So
Didn't you feel like this movie started slow? Like the entire third Hunger Games movie was so slow. Like nothing happened, and then like the first hour of this movie, nothing happens as well.
Yeah.
Like it takes them a while to get there, right?
I thought we were starting on the pros, but yeah, that was definitely.
But you're, yeah, I did too. Yeah. You skipped straight to the negative. Did you have a positive?
Oh, right. What did I like about this movie?
How about the love triangle?
When he said starting on the prose, I thought he meant like poetry and prose. I was like, were we supposed to have written something out?
No.
Like, did I blow that?
Katniss, your hair
I
is
do
like
want to talk
silk.
about that love triangle though, real quick.
Yeah.
It's no competition. Am I right? You pick Liam Hemsworth if you're going to pick either Josh or Liam. Yes, thank you. You pick Liam. If you had to pick one of them to spend the rest of your life with, just be wrapped up in their arms and feel true security, it's Liam. Yeah, I did
thought
not
about
get an
this a
applause
little
like I
too
thought I
much,
was going to
Andrew.
get.
The PETA lovers just went, oh. But what about the short underdog?
That's right. What about the damage sensitive guy?
What
I mean,
about the
come
one
on.
that went into the Hunger Games and survived?
Guys, we are not going to spend this entire time talking about
No.
the love triangle. That is
Okay.
not going to happen on my watch.
I will say this, the direction of this movie and the CGI, all that stuff, was actually surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought it was good too. That was quality.
I think for me, the main positive was one, Jennifer Lawrence is an incredible actor. She does an
Yeah.
amazing job. She outacts
I
this
think-
material in a lot of
Is
ways.
it supposed to be actor for both, or is it actress?
And different
Just
people say
genuine
different
question.
thing. Yeah, no, I think there is a movement for kind of taking the gender out of it. You know, it's just an actor. But
And there's
some
also
people say
movement
actress
for the
and
women to
actors,
get
yeah.
paid the same too.
Yeah, that's always a thing.
That's
as
going to
well.
happen someday, right?
But as good as she is, she's still not the best performance in the entire
Who
movie.
is? Who is?
Donald Sutherland is still the best performer.
Yeah.
in
Who
this
is that?
Snow.
Oh, I
President
like
Snow.
Snow.
Yeah.
I mean, he's weird in the movie, but he does a good job.
That's why he's good. He kills that performance. He's
Hey,
really
I'm glad
good.
you didn't say he kills somebody, because that'd have been a spoiler. You just said he kills the performance.
I
You
can't say
scared
that,
me.
and I can't talk about future helicopters either.
Helicopters are a spoiler on the show.
The other thing I like is the action stuff. I think that's really, really good. They did a great job. Once it gets moving, this movie really, the action really
I
owns.
feel like I'm sinking.
All right, how about worst thing? And I'll start since I've already kind of said it. This movie takes forever to get going.
You already
like
said that.
forever. Okay,
Move
that's
on.
mine. Andrew, what's your thing that you didn't like?
One of my
I got it.
One of my cons is
Hi.
actually the action in this movie, because every single time something is about to happen, either the camera flashes away or somebody splashes water onto the camera and you can't tell what's going on. Yeah.
You're wrong.
Nope.
That
Fight, fight, fight.
No.
I actually thought when I was watching like
Arm wrestle.
no, thank you. When I was watching the let's just say the tunnel scenes,
Yeah.
that won't give anything away.
that was
right.
the highlight of the movie. But
Okay,
Still.
I just thought it reminded me at times of Lord of the Rings, like how well choreographed it was.
What?
Yeah, like I was like, wow, there's Gimli with his axe,
Have
and
you
there's
only
Legolas with
seen
his
3
bow.
movies? Are they Hunger Games and Lord of the Rings?
No, I really had that thought. A total, I think that would be
6.
7 movies.
7?
Yeah,
Are you,
400
you
games.
can't.
in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anyhow, so
can't count.
So yeah, I would disagree with that. But you thought it suffered from like we don't have time to choreograph this well, so let's throw a distraction.
Okay, I think it was more just the way they shot it I had a problem with, but I could tell the choreography in it was really good, like especially for a Hunger Games movie.
So there's some
when
good
it's
action
supposed to
scenes.
be like toned back from violence is normally what you see in those movies. This movie doesn't shy away from violence in the way the other ones did.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah, I would agree with that. Danae, what did you have on the negative side?
The story has come to an end.
What is that?
It's sad. It's Aaron's phone.
It's people interacting on band.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so we left it. I mean, I can mute it, but I thought we decided to leave it up.
I just didn't know
I
what
can
it was.
smell Danae's pits from here. Guys, really? Just kidding.
It was me.
I posted it. No, I didn't have a lot of negatives except for what you already mentioned. The pacing was a little off for me. Oh, I guess I would mention this. So if you're not used to the Hunger Games world or you haven't read about it, they don't go into some things I expected them to go into. There's a couple really interesting character developments, some really cool backstories about some of the characters, and I don't want to spoil too much, but they just don't really dig into that storyline, and that really bummed me out because when we talked about it earlier on our podcast today, it was really evident that some of that some of that world, like in the Capitol, they do a lot of like bio stuff, and they change DNA, and they make like scary creatures and things like this. And like really a lot of that doesn't make itself known in this movie, and so quite all of a sudden you're reminded that this isn't, our universe, it's a totally different universe. They didn't really do a good job, I think, of bringing to life a lot of that stuff. We talk about it in the spoilers a little bit, but like they don't really develop even President Snow as much as I would have liked for them to have.
I remember when you started saying some of the stuff that happens in the book that they don't really even touch on in the movies.
And it was fascinating, right?
It was incredibly fascinating. And I remember it was either me or Josh, who was on the show with us today, said, why didn't they make that movie? And I kind of agree. Like there's a movie with some of that stuff you were talking about in the book that would have been, I think, a little bit more interesting. And,
yeah.
But I know they wanted to focus on the, like the.
But it's still overall good. I still thought it was a good movie, though.
What did you guys think about how they dealt with Philip Seymour Hoffman's absence in the movie? That's
a good thing to also hit on before we wrap up.
Let's just say this is his last movie, and you can definitely tell that they toned his character back a lot. From what I figured they were going to do, just have him in the background and stuff. But no, he was very toned back in this movie, a lot more.
It felt like those were scenes that had already been shot from the other movies that they kind of like cut and pasted.
Or he did part of it, like maybe he did some of it before he passed away, and they did it. It was interesting too because you can tell that they try to bring his character back in. The character is a huge important role in the film, or in the books rather.
Was any of that CGI?
He was CGI in a couple of them, but you really couldn't tell, which was nice.
I didn't think he was CGI. I thought
really
they just cut him from other places. I guess he was a little foggy in the background.
Just like take scenes or clips from other movies, maybe.
I saw a movie recently, and they'd CGI'd somebody that had passed away. It was so creepy.
Fast Five, or
yeah, yeah.
Paul Walker,
whatever
that
the
was
newest
so
one is.
Weird.
Yeah.
Like
I gotta tell you, my youngest son has. What's the song in the Fast and Furious movies?
I don't know, but it was tragic.
There's this song, and he plays it on repeat like all the time. He's like, "Dad, have you seen the Fast and Furious movies?" "Yes, I've seen the Fast." "This song's from the Fast and Furious." "Thank you, son. I appreciate you telling me." He plays it all the time.
Is it time for one more thing yet?
Yeah, let's do our one more thing.
One more thing. If you decide to stick around for the credit, there isn't like a secret credit thing that I know about, but Jennifer happens to sing in the credits again, and we heard her sing in the last movie. And so she sings a little bit more. And I think she's a really great haunting voice. Like she's got a super kind of neat, gruff, growly voice. And I think she sounds fantastic. She was terrified to sing. And they had to really coax it out of her. It was more horrible for her than just some awkward scenes in movies. So, but I think she sounded really good. So that's my one more thing, is at least listen to a little bit of it.
I'll go next. My one more thing is, if you watch a movie like this on opening night, with a crowd full of the demographic for a movie like this,
tweens,
it makes for a very interesting viewing experience because they are in it. When the love triangle, when members of the love triangle would have a smooch, the place just like melted. It was incredible.
And like a character dies, and there's someone down there like, people are consoling her.
Yeah,
it was for real.
I went to the morning show for this, and you could tell like the parents that just got off a 10-hour shift, they had to take their kids to the show, and they were just tired. And no, the kids were awake and they were totally into it. And I'm like, it's 10 in the morning. You shouldn't be this excited. But no,
they're excited.
They know how to make a movie for that audience.
Yeah. And maybe to the detriment of the movie a little bit. Like
I think so.
But whatever.
It's a little bit, especially when they're laughing during. Oh, wow.
That's my girls over there.
Wow. Yes, I think you were at the movie we went to. I think I saw you a few rows ahead of us. Yeah. What about you, Andrew? What's your one more thing?
One more thing. I really do think that out of all of the books, like out of the movies and the books, this one was the most authentic to the books, like you said. Even though it was technically just half the book, but like that half was like dead on like how it was supposed to be.
Can we all agree it should have been one movie instead of two?
Yes.
Can we all agree that?
What do you guys think? No.
You thought it was a good decision to make it into two movies?
That's actually the marketing team that's making money off it being 2 movies. They're here tonight.
Head of marketing,
Wow.
Justin Hughes, is here tonight
Wow.
for the Hunger Games.
Thanks for joining us.
Amazing. Well,
Cool.
thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that. Round of applause for Andrew. You can check him out on YouTube
Yep.
at Flick Freaks.
He
Andrew, do
does
you have
reaction
anything?
videos on YouTube.
Yeah, he does great stuff on YouTube. Do you have anything you want to say before you head out?
Yeah, my stuff's less family friendly than yours, but
It's good to know.
That's good heads
to
up.
know.
It's good
Yes.
heads up.
I probably needed to say that, but
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
coming
thanks,
on.
Andrew. Thanks for joining us.
So there's just a
Appreciate it.
little example of our stiff pop culture. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit and go into our next segment.